Would you believe me if I told you that I never went to art school? What if I told you that I never edited a video until I started my YouTube? Well, both of these are true. In this video, I'm going to talk about teaching yourself anything because I believe in your potential. I believe you can go from zero to mastery because I've seen it happen before. So, where did I start? When I was a child, I just began to draw. I copied pictures of animals, dinosaurs, and drew fantastical creatures. Every day I drew everything I could, not with the intention of learning, but simply because it was fun. Perhaps you picked up an instrument as a child, or started writing. Maybe you were fascinated by space science or maths. Or perhaps you wanted to know everything about cars. Whatever it was, I bet your enthusiasm for it was boundless. As children, we're free to let our imaginations soar without worrying about grown-up rules. But as we get older, we pick up a mix of beliefs, some helpful and some not so much. Perhaps a parent told you that you weren't smart enough to pursue science, or maybe a teacher told you your drawings were silly. Wherever it is that we pick up these beliefs, we can let them sink in and become reality about ourselves. Imagine that you had the chance to learn anything without limits. Would you go for it, or would you give in to thinking that you can't? The key is to break free from what is expected and go after what you truly want, no matter what. As I said, for me, drawing was just fun. I didn't care about whether I was good or not, or whether it was going to get me a lot of attention. I just loved that I could draw a cool character or an animal I liked. I believed that this was the key to my learning. My drive was internal. It wasn't because I was seeking approval elsewhere. So why is this valuable? Well, you have the power over internal drive, whereas external drive relies on something out of your control. It's much easier to accomplish hard things when your reason for doing it is solely within yourself. When I was growing up, I was bullied really badly, so much so that I had to leave high school and be homeschooled. So I had a lot of people telling me that I couldn't do things. Every day I heard a barrage of limiting messages. So what if I had listened to those? I wouldn't have started a YouTube channel or made my first painting, that's for sure. It can be really hard to ignore those critical voices, believe me, I know, especially if they came from someone you respected. And eventually they can even start to sound like your own voice. But your passions and your dreams matter way more than that. Grab them with both hands and shut out the naysayers. Start to believe in yourself. It will open doors upon doors to your own potential, and you will find yourself learning more than you can imagine. Remember too that learning will take time and lots of failure. I've spoken about getting comfortable with failure in another video, but it bears repeating. Have you heard of the quote, "The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried"? This is a great quote to hold on to when you face a setback. Remember that every failure is an opportunity to learn, not an opportunity to give your critical inner voices what they want. Every mistake leads you closer to mastery. Remember that and do not be discouraged. Building resilience to setbacks is not only an important skill to cultivate for teaching yourself things, but also a skill you can apply in any aspect of your life. It's all very well keeping our heads and our bodies in the zone of learning, but sometimes you need to feed your curiosity too. Let's give our minds a break and head outside. We learn best when we're naturally curious about something, like when we were children. If you want to learn something, it can be tempting to start with a rigid system. But for most of us, that is unsustainable. Think about what really lights up your eyes when you consider your chosen subject. Consider what you really love. Seen as this is an art YouTube, let's take drawing for example. Maybe you would love to draw landscapes. If you enjoy this, then why bother facing the daunting task of learning anatomy? Focus on what makes you excited, and you will find the experience of learning much easier. Let's take it a step further. Maybe you love to draw landscapes and your excitement lies in trees and gardens. Then why would you bother learning to draw skyscrapers? See how it goes? Eventually you might get excited about other parts of drawing, and then you can pursue that too. Always be checking in with your inner compass for your passion. Let that guide you to where your interest lies, and along the way you will find areas of focus you want to pursue. You can apply the same to any other thing that you want to teach yourself. There are no rules. When you teach yourself, you are free to chart your own course. In this way, teaching yourself things not only results in a new skill or new knowledge, but helps you define yourself as a person. You know what you want, and you know what you don't want. You learn to recognize your own authenticity. While on your journey, you may come across people who will tell you what you should or should not do. Some of these people will be helpful, others will not. Remember that you are in charge. Always check in with that inner compass. If you feel like this person's advice, including mine, by the way, isn't right for you, then disregard their words. However, remember to consider their advice carefully, whatever is being said. You may initially think it's terrible, but after careful consideration, find some wisdom in there. Always stay true to yourself, but have humility and consider what others may teach you along your journey. Thank you for spending time with me in the studio today. I hope my video brought you inspiration or maybe just a little bit of calmness for a few minutes. If you enjoyed the video, please press like and subscribe and leave a comment. Remember, you can access extra behind the scenes stuff on my Patreon, which you can find linked below. I'll see you in the next one, guys.